They stay locked together on serve. Both men have had chances. 5-4 Muster.
Die Könige des Tierreichs, einzigartig in ihrer Faszination, gefürchtet wegen...
1-all, 5-all after 2 hours and 4 minutes. Fifth ace. That's a fantastic game from Thomas Muster. Didn't put a foot wrong on the 4 points. And showing his opponent that as they approach the sharp end of this third set, that he's just really getting going.
Well, whatever the problem is that required treatment from Bill Norris doesn't seem to be putting him off at all. He's certainly playing particularly well, hitting the ball very, very hard, as is this man. There's just no way you can call the result of this. I don't think that either player has an advantage. They're so even, and just have to feel that someone has to come up with maybe a brilliant couple of shots or to win. We hope it's not something controversial like a very, very lucky shot or a bad call.
Just coming up towards midnight, Melbourne time. 2 or 3 minutes to go. And very few people are going home. Courier trying to force a tiebreak. 5-6 in the third set. It's 1-all. Just pulled it wide. Muster can't believe it.
He has to believe it because it was wide. Courier was in a little bit of trouble there. And, in comes Muster with the heavy topspin, but just didn't get enough topspin. Maybe got a little bit too much side spin, pulling the ball out wide.
Courier answers Muster's love service game with one of his own, and it's a tiebreak to decide this third set. What have I done to deserve that? Dead bounce off the net cord.
Well, he wouldn't have had too many problems had he decided to just play the normal backhand, but once he ran around the ball, he was always going to be in trouble there.
Must be an American net out there.
Must be. I can't believe it. That Courier's died and his just sits up and says, please hit me.
Muster recovers the mini break.
Just didn't get his feet over to that ball in time to hit it back.
6 ace from Muster. And 3 of them in this set.
Now the advantage really is with Muster. It's on serve, but he leads the 3-2, and Courier must win both his points. Otherwise, Muster is very, very likely to run away with the set. They're working out there, aren't they? They really are hitting the ball very hard, having to move, change direction. Tie break rules. You're supposed to keep walking around, but nobody is going to yell at either player for stopping just to towel off a little bit and have a sip of drink.
And if they did, they would be idiots.
Yes, and Melbourne people are not idiots.
1 set all, 6 games all, and 3 points all.
It's the second time he's done that to the same side, just in the last couple of games.
It's his 7th double fault, 4 in this set. And how often do we see that double faults in tie breaks are decisive? One thinks of the one that Tim Henman served on the first point of his tie break with Michael Chang. And that rubs it home. Ace number 7. So Musta's served 2 aces in the tiebreak and Courier 1 double.
He's really gone to pieces in this tiebreak as Courier with the double and a couple of sprayed shots, and that was really spraying a ball extremely wide.
3 set points for Thomas Muster. That's it. That's the set. 7-4. And really, Courier will be furious with himself, having led 2-love in the tiebreak. He then threw it away. So at the moment, certainly advantage Muster.
Full credit goes to Muster. He has a slight problem with the required
set.
Both players know that this is a vital game. Courier must hold his serve to keep his nose in front. Oh, another one of those stunning into-out forehands from Muster. You have to protect the return back down the line, and that's what makes the cross-court so effective. But still, he hits it so beautifully. He really is in trouble, is Jim Courier.
The wheels have come off the Courier wagon all of a sudden. And he needs to get them back on very rapidly, otherwise Muster is going to be through to the quarterfinals. 2-1 now to the Austrian and a break at the start of the fourth.
This is hard to know what really happened there. Jim Courier, we know from many years ago, he was the hardest trainer and therefore the fittest player in the game, and then he went wayward for a year or two, lost his ranking. He was #1 in the world. He went out, and now he's got his enthusiasm back, and his training. You could see what you can see of his body there. It looks in pretty good shape, so you know he's in good shape, but it just sometimes he just goes wayward mentally, and I would say in the last couple of games of that last set and in the tie break, he was not quite there, and the more he wasn't there, the more Courier, should I say Muster, really was there. Muster has really raised the level of his play.
Well, Muster will know that in the last set he broke back immediately, and that got him right back in it, and he'll be telling himself, don't you dare let that happen the other way around. Oh yes, that's a great shot. I don't know what on earth he's complaining about now.
He just likes to talk, that's all. I mean, it's, you know, it's not serious. I mean, keeps motivating himself by talking, maybe arguing a little bit, but he also knows that Courier is as good a fighter as he is.
Just missed.
It had winner all over it, didn't it? Until it bounced.
Muster catches Courier in terms of aces. They both served 8 now.
That's a scrumptious point, really. Superb stuff. Great defending by Courier. That first lob of his is just, what, a foot from the baseline. It must have nearly hit the roof, or would have hit the roof if it had been closed. He got it so high. And look at the split screen there, how they're both working. And that was a good shot there by Muster, because it did clip the net. He could have done a little bit more with that smash. I'm not saying that Muster is saying any bad words or speaking in English, but it is amazing how many non-English speaking tennis players, when they talk to themselves on the court, talk to themselves in English. Unsighted by the linesperson.
Well, that's one reaction from Thomas. I suspect, well, no, Well done. Ah, yes, I thought there might be a little mutter. Yes, he saved it to the next point. Ninth ace.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff.
Muster turning it on in every respect. And now this becomes an absolute must-win game for Jim Courier. Muster in this mood, there's no way back, I think, from 2 breaks. Plum on the line. Stunning stuff.
He's vulnerable to the forehand down the line if Muster can keep it in, and he does. The wheels have half fallen off. I don't know if they'll fall off completely, but certainly Courier's got a lot of work to do to get back into this match.
Yes, Muster knows that this is the moment. He wants to produce his best. He feels he can make the winning thrust here.
Good points to get the score back to 30-all, but he needs another couple of good points to win the game. It's a good forehand approach and a very brave smash. A little bit of speed off that first serve and got it even shorter. I think, when it was in the air, must have thought it might have been going wide. It didn't. Oh, well played, Courier.
He needed to play well. He came back from love 30 to win that game. He's still a break down, but at least he's in touch in the 4th set. 2-1 Muster. Past midnight in the morning, Melbourne time. Of course, it's a match that was held up for 40 minutes. Oh gosh, more problems for Muster this time. It looks like I might be right with the blisters.
Yes, I think you're right this time.
But until I see it for myself. So Bill Norris has been kept busy. I tell you, these people, the physios, the doctors have been working. Been working double hard today. Courier asking what's going on.
There is a limit to the number of timeouts that you can have due to injury.
Not if it's another injury, and this is a different one.
Not if it's another injury. Yeah. I think that's what Courier's saying. Well, how many injuries is is this guy going to have on me? I mean, he's leading me 2-1 in the 5th set, and he's injured. He's injured here, he's injured there, he's injured everywhere. What's going on?
Don't forget, once this match is over, we will be looking back on another terrific day, another day full of incident and drama at the Ford Australian Open. We'll be with you all the way through until 7 o'clock tonight, UK time, 8 Central European. And the way things pan out, we have 2 more night sessions, Tuesday and Wednesday, which means that we're able to bring you live action of the 2 quarter-final days. And then on Thursday, of course, we're down to the women's semi-finals, and Friday is men's semis. The ladies' final on Saturday and the men's singles final will wrap up our coverage next Sunday. News of Frew McMillan, well, we're all awaiting it. He's having 1 or 2 tests this morning, and we hope he may be back with us tomorrow.
Well, if he can't get back to us tomorrow, then he better get himself fit for Wimbledon, because I'm not carrying him, I can assure you of that. Provided he can talk the committee into inviting us into playing again. I love it when I play with him, because I know he can carry me. His shoulders are very, very broad. Muster to serve, 2-1, 5th set.
4th set.
4th set. I'm getting excited here.
Oh, well, we had the hot dog attempt. Fabulous stuff.
It's good tactics by Courier, because if he's has a blistered toe, make him run. Maybe he'll get some more blisters on his feet. Right now, this is where Courier has to just tighten up a little bit. He has to keep playing his own natural game, hitting the ball very hard, but cut down on the errors, make his opponent work that much harder.
Yes, that was a poor shot from Courier. Normally so secure on the forehand.
A little bit like Enquist yesterday. Enquist was struggling to find his range on the forehand.
Ace number 10 for Thomas Muster. And he takes one more step towards a place in the quarterfinals.
Thomas quickly just pointing out, and Jim accepting his help.
Yes, he really is missing these forehands now. You heard his reaction.
He was love 30 down his last service game, wasn't he? And he got out of it.
I like the way Courier really looks at his opponent, stares them in the face.
You don't think he's just checking that he's ready? You think he's doing a little bit more than that?
Mm-hmm.
Done that off forehand again.
(15-40), 2 points for a 4-1 lead. Surely that would be decisive. There's a spring in the Muster step now. He feels he's got it. Courier will fight, but Muster has a clear advantage, 4-1.
Fakten, Fakten, Fakten und an die Leser denken.
Über 5 Millionen Leser informieren sich Woche für Woche mit Fokus. Lesen auch Sie Nachrichten ohne Umwege. Fokus kommt schneller auf den Punkt. Überzeugen Sie sich selbst. Wählen Sie 0130 3009 und testen Sie Fokus 10 Wochen lang für nur 36 Mark. Als kleines Dankeschön erhalten Sie die Original Fokus Mini Datenbank. Rufen Sie jetzt an 0130 3009. Wir schicken Ihnen postwendend die Unterlagen zu.
Plenty for Jim Courier to ponder now. Must have thought when he came from a set down and led 2-1 with a break in the third set that things were swinging his way. But since then, it's swung back in favour of Muster. 2 breaks of serve now to the Austrian in the fourth set. 4-1, leading by 2-1. And interesting, Muster out there early, saying, come on, I got you.
Suddenly the forehand is absolutely deserted Jim Courier. And that's his big weapon.
Oh, he really had to slam on the brakes. Of course, if he touched the net before the ball bounced for a second time, it was point to Courier. creamed that shot, and he really thought he'd made it.
Let's see if we can agree with the call. It was very, very close. Couldn't get down with his body quite sufficient to lift it up with the top spin.
Really served well, I think, for the last set and a half, Muster. And he moves to a 5-1 four-set lead.
A little bit strange, that first volley. He got away with it, but thought he might have done a little bit more with it. Maybe 5-1 up, but you know darn well that Muster will not just rest on his laurels and let Courier hold serve here and then serve out the match. He will, if at all possible, break right here once again for the third time in the set. Doesn't look like he's going to, though.
Oh, he's missed a couple of sitters. And how many forehands down the line has Thomas Muster made in the last half a dozen games or so?
Well, it's the forehand down the line that I thought Courier would be doing a little bit more often than Muster, but Courier has been missing too many. Muster, to this stage, has missed so few.
Ninth ace from Courier. Whereas Muster has come on strong in the aces department, Courier served 4 of his in the first set. But he has forced Muster to serve it out.
He's had to do that, and I firmly believe Bill Norris is coming on just to check that everything's okay, and it is. But I really do firmly believe that Jim Courier believes he can still win this. He's just not the type of guy not to believe that otherwise.
Yeah, yes, he's a real fighter. They both are. I suppose if it does go in 4 sets, it won't quite have been the classic we were anticipating, but you sense the longer that third set went, the more important it became. Courier's never quite recovered from the loss of it, and at the moment the very, very hot favourite to win is Thomas Muster. But Courier will be telling himself, I haven't lost to this guy since 1990, and I've beaten him 7 times since. And there's no reason why I can't turn this one around, even at the 11th second of the 11th hour, 11th minute of the 11th hour. (5-2), Muster serving for a place in the last 8. That shot will go down as the one that's really won it for Muster.
Decides to come in late because he sees his approach shot has caught Courier going the wrong way. Forehand approach from Muster, making it 30 all.
Terrific play from Courier, and suddenly his hopes revive. A chance to get one of the breaks back.
And it's his favourite forehand that sets up the point with that off forehand. Good serve.
Great stuff.
Courier's played that type of point a couple of times, hasn't he? And seems to have won just about every one of them. That one with a great touch on the forehand drop volley.
Break point again. Oh, he lost a string. What a time for that to happen.
He won't exactly sprint across to change his racket. He won't crawl, but he'll certainly take a legitimate amount of time just to let Musta think a little bit more.
Back to Juice. What a get on the half volley from Courier. Musta gave it all he had.
Well, he played this point so well, it's obviously the right racket for him.
And for a third time, Courier holds break point. Well, these two have saved the best to last, it seems to me. The standard of tennis now is simply outstanding.
It really is. He needed to go cross-court on this forehanded Courier, or alternatively come up with a screamer down the line. He couldn't do it. He was under too much pressure. Really dictated completely by Musta.
Only his fifth double fault of the entire match. And is Musta just tightening up on the point of victory. Oh my word. Well, to quote the old phrase, I think the fat lady's just put a songbook away.
Maybe she couldn't find it to put it away.
Well, Courier's still a break behind, but boy, if he holds here, it'll become interesting.
Too keen that time, I believe, to take a forehand. The return was pretty strong, a little bit wide. He loves to run around his backhand, of course, to hit the forehand, as does Musta. You've got to pick your moments.
Well, Courier getting very frustrated with himself, not with anybody else, certainly not with the monitor. It's just that he keeps hitting his first serves long.
Well, I thought he said figure it out.
Yeah.
He said figure it out
to himself.
Yes, figure it out. Figure out how to get it in. It's really what he's saying. Figure out how to get a forehand in as well.
2 match points for Thomas Muster after some 2 hours and 58 minutes of actual playing time.
That ball was so low he almost hit it on the throat of the racket. Just got over the net, and it didn't really sit up as much as Muster would have liked to have had it sit up.
It's the forehand to the forehand corner that's won the match for Thomas Muster, and fitting that he finishes with precisely that shot. Terrific contest, perhaps not the classic we'd hoped for, but some superb play from both of them at times. And it's Thomas Muster who ends his losing streak against Jim Courier. And it's Muster who advances to the quarterfinals after just under 3 hours.
Well, what can you say about a match that didn't quite live up to its expectations, but it's always going to be very difficult to do that because the expectations were so jolly high. Yet at the same time, it had a lot of drama. It had some great shots. It had some terrible shots. It had injuries. It had a light blowout for 40 minutes. They had to stop. It really did have everything. It's just a pity, perhaps, that it didn't go to 5 sets. 4 sets is fine. Muster will be delighted.
Right, now we're going to start our look back, and we're going to pick up that match we were showing you before between Rubin and Van Roost.
Player has an advantage, so even, and just have to feel that someone has to come up with maybe a brilliant couple of shots or to win. We hope it's not something controversial like a very, very lucky shot or a bad call.
Just coming up towards midnight, Melbourne time. 2 or 3 minutes to go. And very few people are going home. Courier trying to force a tiebreak. 5-6 in the 3rd set. It's 1 set all. That's a fantastic game from Thomas Muster. Didn't put a foot wrong on the 4 points. And showing his opponent that as they approach the sharp end of this third set, that he's just really getting going.
Well, whatever the problem is that required treatment from Bill Norris doesn't seem to be putting him off at all. He's certainly playing particularly well, hitting the ball very, very hard, as is this man. There's just no way you can call the result of this. I don't think that either player.
Courier answers Muster's love service game with one of his own, and it's a tiebreak to decide this third set. Oh. What have I done to deserve that? Dead bounce off the net cord.
Well, you
just pulled it wide. Muster can't believe it.
He has to believe it because it was wide. Courier was in a little bit of trouble there. And, in comes Muster with the heavy topspin, but just didn't get enough topspin. Maybe got a little bit too much side spin, pulling the ball out wide.
They stay locked together on serve. Both men have had chances. 5-4 Muster.
Die Könige des Tierreichs, einzigartig in ihrer Faszination, gefürchtet wegen...
One set all 5-all after 2 hours and 4 minutes. 5th ace.